of Dr. King's civil rights movement in the trenches of the battleground state of Ohio, city of Cincinnati, and the daughter of civil rights activist Dr. Stephen Reece Sr. and the late Barbara Reece, who marched for me 50 years ago.
A champion for voting rights.
We're going to bring you people that know about business. We're going to bring you people that know about what's going on in the tech. Put some soul into this whole tech thing that's going on.
She's a fighter for the people.
Welcome, Reverend Al Sharpton, to the show.
Congratulations on your show.
She's authentic.
We're bringing Joe Madison, known as the Black Eagle.
Congratulations on having the show. Nothing is more important than the local programs that engage our communities.
She's a proud HBCU grad. It's time for Alicia Reece's Soul Food, Food for the Soul, on Cincinnati's 24-hour urban gospel connection, Inspiration 1050 AM and 103.1 FM, WGRI.
All right, everybody. We are live here at Corinthian Baptist Church. We're bringing all the hot sauce. And, of course, we're here with the one and only Pastor KZ Smith. Welcome to Alicia Reece Soul Food again.
Well, it's certainly good to be on. I think I can say good afternoon right now.
Yeah, you can say good afafternoon, but we replay on Saturday, so then it'll be good evening.
Well, good evening. Okay. Well, good
but
evening.
We're live right now.
Good evening to everyone, and it's just good to be up here. We're up here for the African American Engagement Health Fair, and it's a lot of people here. We thank God for the people that came up and all different agencies that's working. But it's just good to be on the show with Hot Sauce, our Commissioner Alicia Reece, who I say is the hardest working elected official in the county. And so Alicia does a lot of great work, and I don't even have to talk to you all about it because you all know the great work that she's doing. And that's why I definitely support her in all that she does.
Well, I certainly appreciate you and all that Corinthian Baptist is doing and has done, always opening the doors to the community. We have our 513 relief bus here today, as well as a lot of vendors that have a lot of information from sickle cell to prevention, drug prevention. They even have hospice care. It's a lot that is here, and it doesn't cost a thing. Of course, I said the 513 relief bus is here, but we were here this week. Mm-hmm. And we had what we call the annual report. And I just remember it was on our show, Alicia Reece Soul Food. I had the governor on there. I had Joe Mallory, president NAACP at that time, and Renee Mahaffey Harris. We had a show, and I had UC Health CEO at that time. And the thing was, how do we get vaccine and information to the Black community? And so we told the governor, one is you got to partner with churches. And they ended up after that, churches here in Hamilton County were the first in the whole state to have these partnerships. And thanks to you and others. But then the second thing we said, we need a bus. So Joe Mallory said, it would be great if we have a bus. We had no model. Okay. And then God sent me Hampton University on Facebook. And I hit like and went on about my business. And then it popped up again. I hit like, and I went on about my business. But I remember you preaching a sermon that God will send you a message, but you got to be ready to see the message. So after the third time, I said, wait a minute. So I ended up going down to Hampton University. They had a model, and they were just doing vaccinations. But I said, man, this could be a new way we do business in Hamilton County. Take the services to the people instead of the people trying to find the services. And so now we have a new bus. We've done 200 stops. We've helped over 23,000 plus citizens, 30,000 services. We had our kickoffs here 2 years in a row where hundreds and hundreds of people came for all the free services. And we came back with the annual report showing that on the backside of the bus is the medical at a time when people can't pay these co-pays. We can help you. And then on the front of the bus is the economics. And so it was just great to see how God's vision and then bring it back Alicia, to the house.
You're doing great work. And I don't say this about everyone, but, there is really an anointing on you. It's no accident that you are the pioneer for so many great programs we have in Cincinnati. I mean, we could talk about the 513 relief bus. We could talk about the Black Music Walk of Fame. We can talk about all the different things that you continue to do and have done, from going back to, I was talking about, you got good DNA from, your mother Barbara and Steve, and with the music industry there and the talent shows that he used to give, and then with his business, again, you come from good DNA, and now the Lord is just releasing it again through you about the different programs that you're working on. And that's why people keep saying, well, why we keep talking so much about Alicia Reece? That's because she's doing something. If you have done something, you can talk about yourself too. But you're not doing anything, but then you want a lot of people to be talking about you. That's why when politicians come to Corinthian, I first see, what are you doing out in the community? Not just because you're running for office that we're going to let you get up now and speak to the people, but what have you earned the right to get up and speak to the people about? And so Alicia has earned it. And so, again, that's why I support her. And there's others out there as well. Yeah. But again, I say the hardest working. I don't mind saying it. The hardest working is Alicia. And let me also say that I don't know if I've said this to you before, but my wife, her cousin was the vice president of Hampton University.
What?
Doretha Spells.
Oh my gosh.
And she just retired last year. Yeah, last year. Doretha Spells. She was the vice president treasurer for Hampton. We go down every year. Matter of fact, we'll be going in the next couple of weeks to Hampton because there's a ministers' conference. It's always the first week in June. And so we'll be going down there. And so, again, just to hear you talk about Hampton, and again with the HBCUs and all of that, I tell you, it's a great school. But again, you went to Grambling, and which is definitely a great school.
Yeah,
and
we went to Withrow, the greatest high school of all time.
The church always moans when I say that.
I know. People get mad. All the haters. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I just coming and hearing you preach so many times, just as I've grown. And I'll be honest with you, I've had a lot of positions, vice mayor, council, state representative. Those were all great. And I had great careers.
Tourism.
Yeah. And I really just didn't know what God was doing. And this one is kind of my first time where I see the dots connecting and all that he has done and his guidance.
And, I keep saying to you, I don't think it's over with.
Every time I say that's it, right? I always say this is it.
I just
this
see
the last
you first
one.
Becoming, to the governor's office. I'm gonna say that. I don't know if it's first going to Congress or whatever, but the governor's office, I see that because you have that kind of a mind. You have that kind of a heart for people, not to just run to be running, but you really have a heart for serving, and you don't mind dealing with the difficult questions. You ask those difficult questions, like right now we're dealing with the stadium.
Oh my goodness.
And you're not just passing it just because it's the Bengals, but making sure that this is something that will be a benefit, a win-win for the people as well as for the Bengals. And so again, we really appreciate the work that you're doing, Alicia. So, keep it up.
Thank you.
Definitely support what you're doing, and anything I can do to help, please let me know.
I appreciate it. Y'all heard it first. Pastor KZ Smith, you guys come on down if you're listening to us live on Friday. Now, if you're on Saturday, you missed it, but you still can get more information.
If I could just say this really, and this is, I know you're county, but, we really need to support Cincinnati Public Schools. They stood up to the president's, edict to dismantle DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And because of that, there are a lot of threats of them losing funding. We met Pastor Damon Lynch III and Pastor Richard Hughes and I. We met with President Moffitt and Superintendent Murphy. And, the question they told us, there's a levy coming up in November. And I remember I asked the question, I said, with all the negative things you hear about, Cincinnati Public Schools, why do you think people would support a levy? And, she names the things. She said, but the number one reason is we have 36,000 reasons to support. That's the number of students that go there. And so we know we have to support our students, especially in the face of what this president administration is trying to do to so many different businesses. That's why, we come out against Walmart, Target, McDonald's, and there's another one I'm leaving out. Oh, Sam's, uh, which has nothing to do with federal funding. They just dismantled their DEI because the president said so, and so that shows to us that their heart was not in diversity programs. They just did it because they thought it was like the popular thing to do. But others stood strong. And so Cincinnati Public Schools stood strong right now. Kroger's is standing strong. So we're telling people
Procter and
we
Gamble.
support those who support us. If they don't support us, then we don't support them. But this person supports us. And that's why I keep saying I support Alicia, because I know she's going to stand strong for us. And so, Alicia, again, keep up the good work.
Thank you, Pastor.
All right, baby.
Thank you so much. We're here live at Corinthian Baptist Church, and they've got a special event going on. It's Live Well Health.
Live Well
Healing.
Cincinnati. Mm-hmm.
Live Well Cincinnati Health and Healing Expo, and it's completely free, so you guys can get on down here. Thank you, Pastor. I know you got to go.
Right.
I'm not gonna hold you on there. Thank you so much.
Take care, babe.
Appreciate it. And so we're gonna talk to a couple people that are here, but a couple things that happened this week. One is we held our Small Business Day, and I'm super excited about that. In 2021, I introduced legislation to have a Office of Small Business, first one in Hamilton County's history. But then I said, wait a minute, we've got to have an event to help small businesses. It cannot be a leaflet fair. It cannot be a meet and greet. It has to be real. And so over 1,000 small businesses came to this event. We had a thing called a deal room, where you go in a room, you go one-on-one with people who have a contract and the people who are trying to get a contract. And hopefully you can sell yourself and come out with a deal. And a lot of people said this has been super helpful. It's our third year. And so let's take a quick look at a recap of our Small Business Day. I don't hear the, tell her we don't hear it.
Because I believe we need to be number one as a county for small businesses. Reece, and I'm so excited for the third annual Small Business Day. It has been a huge success. Thousands of small businesses right here in one stop. Now, in 2021, I introduced legislation to create Hamilton County's first ever Office of Small Business, because I believe we need to be number one as a county for small businesses. But once we created the Office of Small Business, I said, wait a minute, we got to go a next step. Now we've got to connect small businesses to decision makers, to contracts, and to real opportunity. And so that became the creation of Hamilton County Small Business Day. So
event was truly great. This is my first time here. I have an electronic rental, e-bike rental business, and I partner and network with so many different people, organizations. Truly, thank you so much, Ms. Reece, for everything. Praying all goes well, and I will see you at the next event. Thank you.
So this is our third year, and more businesses are coming. These are changing times. These are tough times for small businesses. They don't know if the tariffs are going to impact their goods and services business. They don't know if changes in Washington will affect their businesses, and they have to be able to pivot, but they got to know what's going on in order to pivot. The great thing about the Small Business Day is that we kick it off with the state of small business to tell us where we are as a county as it relates to small businesses. The next thing that we do, we break out into multiple free workshops. So things like AI, you don't get intimidated by it. We've got a free training. Marketing, how to market your business, and you don't really have a marketing budget. They have a workshop for that. also procurement, how to fill out contract bids so that you can bid on the job. At the same time, we have a thing called the deal room, which I'm super excited about because that's something that I really put everything into. I said, listen, we got to have this thing called the deal room. What is the deal room? It's when you go in there, you as a small business, you're ready to do business, and then you're sitting across the table from a company or the county that's ready to do business. And so the two come together, the ones that have the contracts and the ones that are looking for the contracts, and you have a chance for 10 minutes to go face to face and try to sell your business and walk out with a deal. We also have the county's procurement officers. We got the decision makers right here. So you have a chance as a small business to have a relationship and go one-on-one with the decision makers. So Small Business Day, everything under one roof, decision makers, contracts, training, we're ready to go. And we also have a pitch night that we are taking people to sign up for, which will happen October 22nd, where we give out grants for people who win the pitch night. We have a facade program that we do in municipalities. So when you move in as a small business, the outside facade looks good. We also did $17 million in grants for businesses during COVID. So we are serious about business, and we understand that small businesses are not nonprofits. They are businesses that are looking to make a profit and create jobs. So once again, a great Small Business Day, and it continues through our Small Business Office.
Can you please? No.
Back. All righty. Let's make sure I'm back on. And we are back on. Hopefully my sound is up. Okay, we're back on, and I'm super excited. We're here at Corinthian Baptist Church at the Live Well Health and Healing Expo. We're here until 3 p.m. If you're listening to us live on Friday, if you're listening to the replay, you missed it, but maybe you'll get some good information. Okay, they got the flyer up. There it is. That's all the information. And with me, the two ladies that put it all together, we've got Danielle Jones.
Nice to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes. And we have Tiffany Thomas.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's jump into it. What is going on today?
We want AAEW, the African American Engagement Work Group, strives to empower the African American community with education about treatment resources for substance use disorder and opioid use disorder here in the county. And so we are tasked, we work with 14 of the churches in the city and 25 plus social services. Tiffany is my VP at Tower House. They're one of our partners. The Mental Health and Recovery Services Board is a partner. And basically, we are a linkage to resources. We educate the community, and then we provide them resources. We use the churches as a medium to get the information to the community about the resources available. So Live Well Cincinnati is a brainchild of ours. One of our goals is to take the stigma out of drug use. And so we wanted to make it a health and healing expo. We want people to talk about substance use disorder the way they talk about diabetes and any other preventable or treatable disease.
That's awesome. Now, Tiffany, at the Talbert House, I know we do a lot of partnerships with you, but tell us about this. You two, this is your brainchild. Tell us about why this is so important, because you do a lot of work with the Talbert House. Why is this significant?
This is important because we, again, like Danielle mentioned, we want to remove the stigma in the African American population. And so we want African Americans to know that treatment is affordable, accessible, and available. And so having AAEW as a partner helps us reach that population and helps us get those individuals into treatment.
Now, we also have the 513 relief bus outside, and we do a lot on that bus, and helping with the economics and health. But we also do a lot with we have our quick response team
right
on the bus and those kind of things.
Yeah.
We give out a lot of grants at the county. We have a One Ohio committee, and this is at a lot of levels when you're dealing with addiction.
Absolutely.
Can you talk about that? Because maybe the part about the churches, they used to didn't really talk about this, but there are a lot of important.
14 of our churches, so Corinthian Baptist Church, New Prospect, Greater New Hope, New St. Paul. We have a lot of churches in our group, and what they do is they are using their platforms. The preachers and the pastors are speaking out to their congregations. They're holding monthly outreach activities. They're going out into the community, passing out hygiene kits, distributing Narcan, and then each church has champions. Those are people that are designated in the congregation to be direct linkage to care. So you don't have to come in and announce to the church that you have a problem. There are people who are set aside who will talk to you and then call AAEW, and we will provide transportation to any of our partnering agencies. And the churches actually, as a part of their work, provide scholarship award, financial award for people who need transitional housing. And so I'm thankful for the partnership with the pastors because, like you said, Commissioner, traditionally people don't talk about this, especially in the church. But what we have found is that with the pastors being available and doing the work in the community, that's taken the stigma out in our population, in our community. If the pastor says it's okay, it's going to be okay. Mm-hmm. And so you have Pastor Lynch, New Prospects they host Recovery Celebration on the last Friday of every month. And there's no agency presence. That's just people who need help and are reconnecting to the relationship with their families and the church, and Pastor Lynch makes New Prospect available for that.
Well, I do want to stay on that point because a lot of times, that's for me growing up, the mental health, you would go to your pastor. You didn't go to a therapist. Right. Pastors have become, they were the therapists, right? And so when they go to them, they want to help them. Of course, prayer is the number one thing. You got to have something bigger than that you can believe in, that you can overcome. And I know that your father, Pastor Donald Jones, has counseled so many people, but there was not necessarily the resources. So you had people with the resources, right, that didn't have the connection of the trust and the confidence.
Absolutely.
So now when you go, and you might want to talk to the pastor privately about your situation and trying to overcome it, he got prayer for you, but now can connect with the resources.
Absolutely.
To be able to get you some help and financial resources as well.
Absolutely.
So talk about that, how that's important. I know the Talbot House has been, really connecting with churches for some time.
So not only just piggyback on what you spoke about, the pastors have gone through significant training, intense training, along with the congregation members, and we're continuing to push that training throughout the churches. And so the members of AEW are also not just coming with prayer, they're not just coming with resources, they are also coming with professional skills through the trainings that they have been able to receive through Talbot House's training department.
Well, I think that's a great combination. And I want to thank both of you. Tell the folks today what people can expect here.
So people can expect to be connected to the 513 bus. All of our partnering agencies are here, but this is not just about mental health and SUD. We have Job and Family Services. We have Hawksworth Blood, Hamilton County Department of Health, Public Health is here. And so come on down and see us. We'll be here until 3:00. And if there's a resource that you're looking for that we don't have, give us that information too, so that next year when we do it, we're better equipped to serve.
And we also have folks out there on the grill, so come get your bite to eat as
free
well.
Food.
Y'all didn't tell me about no grill. Y'all got me back here saying soul food, and I'm up here hungry as I don't know what. No, just y'all get here, and we're very excited to be a part of this. And let me just say, for me, faith is everything. And God is everything to me. And that bus could not have been possible without Him sending me the idea. And then me stepping out on faith, because it was, coronavirus at that time.
Right.
It wasn't, they talking about no mask. And I'm out here with all the elements. But God made it where I didn't get sick. He made it where I didn't count out. And He made it where I didn't pass out.
Amen.
And so with that, though, I will tell you the other thing. When we had a bus, our first bus, which was the body double owned by UC Health, I had to find a place to pull up the bus. Who would take us? It's a new concept. let me tell you, the churches were the first to step up. I'm talking about different denominations. Yep. I'm talking black, white, Hispanic. I mean, I'm all out in Cleves at a church. Right. You know, the churches open up their lots to allow us to pull up with these services. And so now it's popular. But when it wasn't popular,
they were there.
They were there. So I want to thank them, and I want to thank both of you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
And keep up the good work. We hear about it. You know, we hear about the meeting. What happened out of the meeting? Here it is. Y'all get here. Right. They'll be here to 3:00, and it's absolutely free. I saw some people out there talking about sickle cell.
Yep.
That's a big deal. So get on down here to Corinthian Baptist Church.
Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank y'all so much. All right, y'all. We're going to keep it going. We got some other people. Y'all can go ahead. I know I got, we're live. I'm like the streamers. All I need is a streamer chair. I'm going to get me one of those streamer chairs. The Twitch people and all that. I want to be looking like they look. But it's hard to go live, unedited, with no commercials. But we are back with, we're here at Corinthian Baptist Church. It has been an amazing week of challenges. But we've got some more people here. I want to hear about some of the services that are here. So come on in. Let's hear about some of these services. And next we've got.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. We just were talking about the different vendors and people you can find here at Corinthian Baptist Church at the Live Well Health and Healing Expo. And so we are here with Prevention First.
Yeah.
Talk about, what does that mean? Prevention first.
So we've been around. We're coming into our 30th year here in the greater Cincinnati area. We work with Northern Kentucky, Indiana, the greater Cincinnati area. We are prevention specialists. We work on doing all the things communities and schools and churches need to do so that kids and families don't have as much substance use challenges or mental health challenges. So we work a lot on risk factors, making sure kids have good places to hang out, and that parents know how to talk to kids and
talk about that. Parents talking to kids. Now I'm going to tell you, my mother probably violated everything that we learned today, but it made me the person I am today and the strength that I have. But this is very important, because a parent wanting to make sure that they understand that the child, when you grow up, you're going to be in a tough world. It's tough out here. So you want to make sure that they're prepared for that. At the same time, you want to listen to what they have to say. At the same time, you have to have a distinction between I'm the parent and you're the child.
Yeah.
But at the same time, want to make sure that the child can talk to them. Tell us, what's some tips for parents? Because I hear from parents all the time to say, I got teenagers. Where do I go? I don't want them to, there's teens committing suicide. I don't want that. There's teens out here doing the wrong thing. I don't want that. How do I do it? How do I become a good parent?
A good parent. Well, so I have 3 boys that are now in their early 20s, and they have a mom in prevention. So they'll tell you all sorts of stories about how I tried to talk to them. I think that if I had to give advice for parents, when kids get to be teenagers, it's developmentally, they want to do things independently from their parents. And so I think the best time to have conversations with kids about good choices and about how to talk about if they're feeling sad or anxious and those types of things is actually when they're like 11, 12, and 13, like before they get there, so that they kind of develop some of those skills. I also think with teenagers and young adults, it's really important to I have a kid that says, do you want to get to know me, or is this a business meeting? Because he's always like, you have something to tell me, you've got something to correct me on or remind me of. So I think it's also trying to connect with your kids. It's just like, even when they get older, I've had to sit through a few video games that I wasn't interested in and things like that. But being able to establish things that you have in common with your kid, whether it's music or things with your faith community, whatever that might be, so that they're comfortable talking to you about the everyday things. So when the tough things come, they're ready to sit down and
how do you deal with prevention of peer pressure? I know you deal with prevention first, not to get tangled into the drugs.
Well, I think when we talk about peer pressure nowadays, I think it's actually more related to stigma. It's sort of like the attitudes people have about how they're feeling. Am I going to be judged if I'm super anxious about something, or if I'm feeling sad about, and I can't explain why I'm sad? I think there's a lot of stigma that, we're supposed to be strong, we're supposed to be growing up, and we're supposed to be handling all this. But I think, a lot of times, I think kids in their peer group, they get it better than my generation. And I think with substances, I think good policies that schools have and communities have around tobacco-free places for kids. And then also, setting boundaries in your home. It's like, this is not going to be acceptable, and here are the consequences. We do a student survey, and the student survey comes back all the time. The kids are like, we want to have mom and dad or our caregivers be the reason that we can't do something, And so that's why we know when kids are involved in sports and they have those kinds of things, there's parameters. Like, you're not going to play, soccer if you get caught doing something. Right. So it's that idea that kind of being able to use our parents as an excuse. Like my mom will.
Use the parent. Let the parent be the bad guy. Yeah, I've done that a couple of times. Hey, but mom won't let me. Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Today you're here and you have a booth. People can come up and talk to someone today.
Sure. So our booth today, we've got some stuff on problem gambling. There's some definite things around sports betting and some things like that we can connect you up with. Everything from some resources to sort of be able to assess if you're gambling in a healthy way. We also have our parents guides. So this is 0 through 24.
Yeah, that's what we're looking at there. Parents guide. That's what we're looking at. Yeah.
And then we're also promoting the Hamilton County Social Determinants of Health Work Group is looking for Black and Latino men to sit down and have some conversations about mental health and substance use. We're kind of looking, we don't have all the answers, and the best way to get the answers is to talk to the people. And so, there's a whole group in Cincinnati that wants to sit and listen, and instead of creating programs and resources that maybe we think people
it doesn't
need,
work. It's a very good time. We're going into Father's Day next month. So Black and Latino men, they want to hear what you have to say, because a lot of times men, that's what they say. Nobody wants to hear their problems, Dads have dad is supposed to be strong, so dad can't go to anybody and talk about problems. And men, when they get together in the barbershops, they're talking about sports and everything, but it's still from a bravado positioning. No one wants to hear about your problems. That's what they would say. So now we have a group that will be together, a safe space where you can talk about the problems and talk about the things that sometimes y'all tell me, nobody's listening to us. Well, they've got a opportunity to do that, and they can come today and sign up.
Yeah, they sure can. Our website, prevention-first.org also has a direct link to the listening sessions, and you can sign up, and somebody will reach out to you and have an opportunity. I think a lot of the listening sessions are going to be done virtually, so you might be able to just be in a small group. Yeah. We just want to understand, it's how you're feeling about something. It's related to what kind of other stresses do you have? How, work and
you got some stresses out there. Tell me about it.
And so it's important. The more we listen, the better we can make things.
Yeah. Prevention-first.org. Okay. Or you can get here before 3:00. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Alicia Reece Soul Food. We're here live at Corinthian Baptist Church. Live Well Health and Healing Expo, absolutely free. They've got everything. Come on in. We've got some other, who I got next? Come on in. And we've got some guests here. It's absolutely free. I told you that we're talking about some of the things that are happening. Make sure, we got you on. Yeah. And tell everybody who you are and why are you here?
My name is Geraldine Boyd, and I am a mental health and substance use disorders and addictions therapist. And the reason why I'm here is because we're bringing mental health to the forefront. So one of my main jobs is to get rid of stigma about mental health and needing help. Right?
Yeah, that's the first thing is stigma, and it's particularly in the Black community, because a lot of times, nobody wants to hear what we have to say and our problems, and and then also access to it, because it almost became you had to be rich, to get to therapy and those kind of things. But if you were middle class or poor, you just got to figure it out. And that has changed now.
It has, because we take, at least at my practice, we take about I would say 30 plus insurances, including Medicaid and Medicare. So we do commercial plans. We also have some private pay clients, but we want to reach our community. It's not just about the Black people, but Black people need to have a safe space where they don't have to explain what they're talking about. Exactly. So you can just tell me, I already know. I've looked like this my whole life.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's really tough. And like I said, but when you do deal with different communities, it hits at different, maybe in different ways, and then different economics, where no matter what your color is.
That's right.
The economics also say, man, I don't have no money to deal with this. I'm broke and poor. I'm supposed to figure this thing out. Oh, no. And now we are really trying to tear down that particular stigma. Tell us a little bit about, what you do. And say someone comes to you, what happens? Say, hey, I'm not feeling like myself, and I need to talk about it.
Well, I'm an old-fashioned talk therapist, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. And I have all kinds of strategies. I have all kinds of coping skills and breathing techniques, but mostly we're just going to talk about it, because a lot of times we carry all this stuff inside, and what I help you do is to get it outside. Right? So if we can put it on the table, we can then sort it out. We can figure out what we're going to do, but we're just going to talk about it. And I'm going to provide a beautiful and safe space for you to be able to do so.
Do you do any training with parents who may want to better communicate with their child because they're concerned? They don't know what to do. They just know I'm doing everything. How is this possible? It's not working in their mind.
And so I just right out here a few minutes ago, I had a grandma talking to me about her grandson who was dealing with some sort of serious mental health issue. Oh, yes, ma'am. It's all about education. It's all, so we don't see very many children. I say that, and then I think about my little 14-year-old that I see. And so, yes, but we speak with parents, we speak with children. We can do whatever. It's my practice, so I can do whatever I want to do. I'm not bound.
Go ahead, tell them. Say it one more time.
It's my practice, so I can do whatever I want to do.
This is what ownership is.
Yes, that's exactly. So I don't have anybody telling me what I can and cannot do. And so we do whatever we want to do. We make therapy look however we want to make therapy look. And however the client, whatever they need, whether it's grief, whether it's schizophrenia, whether it's just depression, my boyfriend left me and I don't know what to do. It's whatever. We talk about it. And let's get these things going. You know, grief, it just builds so big within us.
Grief, I'm telling y'all, it can take you out. Because it's not the funeral. You know, when my mother passed, I went into, it's been some years now, but I went into event mode. It has to be done this way. Mama wants this. Move them flowers over there. What are y'all doing? We need another song. This is how Mama would want it.
Right.
And that helped me, really cope. But for some people, they got hit. My sister and them, they got hit when it hit.
Yes.
For me, it was the longer it goes, the more I know.
Yes.
There will be no more.
Yes, I've had people tell me it was 5 years to the date when it hit me that my person was not here.
Yeah.
When my father passed, it wasn't until I went to call him to tell him that it actually hit me. Because I talked to him every day. But it's like,
Right.
Like, wait.
Right.
But I'm telling you, and so, but we really do have this space where people can come and speak openly and honestly and freely.
That's important, because there are different levels to mental health. People think, mental health is, when you have to be medicated or you had to be institutionalized, but it could be, just, I always know when it's that time of year when my mother passed, because I'm like, why am I feeling like this? Or Mother's Day. We're like, why am I feeling this way? Then and it helps me because I know, okay, Mother's Day is coming. I got it. Okay, Mom, we good.
That's right.
But a lot of times that's what the stigma is, because it could be somebody just lost their job.
Yes.
It could be somebody said, dang, I couldn't pay that gas and electric this month.
That's right.
It could be that, and that doesn't mean that person's going to be institutionalized.
No.
Or it could be, oh man, another person done died. A lot of seniors. Yes. I mean, I remember my great aunt. I'll say this, I'll let you go. My great aunt, she would always call, and this is before they had cell phones. And I remember my parents said, "Oh Lord, who done died now?"
Right.
I mean, but at her age, that's the breaking news.
Yes.
The obituary section of the newspaper was where she was at.
Yes.
So
And that's my age now.
I'm
now
getting
a
older. I'm
senior.
like,
yes, I'm a senior in my
I'm
family.
texting people, so and so that. I'm like, oh my God. You know, so instead of going to the parties, you go to the funerals every week.
Right.
And then some people say, hey, I can't do it.
Yes.
You know, I can't go every week.
Yes.
It's just too much.
It
I gotta.
is.
So just knowing your triggers, that you can talk.
Yes.
Certainly, I'm not a therapist,
Oh, you're doing
but
okay.
talking with you, that's having someone that understands.
Yes.
Is important. And then having a lot of times there, I was reading nationally, there wasn't enough therapists of color because maybe you didn't live in my world and my skin. It might have I have a different situation I have to do. You know,
right.
Even me being an elected official, I got to do it 3-4 different ways, maybe. But on the book side say just go this way. If I just went this way, I wouldn't been elected because it would tell me I need $500,000 to make it, right. And I know I'm not gonna have $500,000, so I got to figure out how do I do it with $100,000.
That's right.
So having someone that understands that is
That's
important.
right.
So tell them again how people can get in touch with you.
Several ways, but you can get us through www.jrgatllc.health. So you
say that a
get
little slower when you're on radio and TV at the same time.
www.jrgatllc@health. You can find us in all kinds of ways. But put in Black therapist, I'll show up.
She'll show up. Or you can come over here to Corinthian Baptist Church on Friday because we replay on Saturday. If you heard on Saturday, you got to go to the website. But if you listen to me live right now, you can get here at 3 o'clock. You can talk to her. See how she got me going as a therapist. I have the show done winning. I done got 50,000 more questions. But we'll have to have you back on.
Oh, yes,
yeah,
please.
We'll have to have you back on because I get people who ask questions and those kind of things, and that'd be great.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. Alicia Reece Soul Food bringing the hot sauce to Corinthian Baptist Church. And we're here for the Live Well Health and Healing Expo. If you listen to us on Friday, we will be here until, I won't be here, but they'll be here until 3 p.m. today. And we got somebody else. Come on over. You got to squeeze over to me. There we go. All right. Tell everybody who you are and why are you here?
So I am Kendall Kenny J. Yancey, and I'm here with Mahogany Home Health and Hospice Agency. We're the new kids on the block. We're the first and only Black-owned hospice agency in the tri-state area.
Wow.
So shout out to Bishop Victor S. Cousins, our CEO and founder. But yeah, we're here to just share the knowledge of at-home care.
At-home care. Now, this hospice is serious business. And it's a tough time because when they say hospice is coming in, that is meaning you're close to the end. But there's different times. Dr. Melvin's wife was in hospice at the house for a couple years. My mother, when hospice came in, they told me we only had maybe 3 or 4 days, and she went on and had over, almost 40-some days still. But hospice it's a difficult thing. So you want a person to have the quality of life. They want to. Do you all do the hospice at home?
Yes.
Okay.
And to your point, because it can be within hours. It can be, for some cases, it can be years that a person is listed on hospice. But the goal is to make sure that they're comfortable, to make sure that they're not alone, and that we're carrying out not only their wishes, but that the family's wishes are being carried out as well. Also educating the family on different things that are available for them while they're here to serve for their loved ones as well.
Yeah, I know they gave a booklet out on all the stages, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't want to read it, so I didn't. My sister did, so she saw the stages. For me, I said, oh man, mama's back. We done beat hospice. I tell them to get up out of here. And that was the stage of bursting of energy and ready to go. And then next thing I know, mama's not talking. You know what I'm saying? So I know what you said, getting the family understanding of what is happening.
Sure, sure. When my grandmother passed, she was on hospice. Unfortunately, my mother, she's a nurse and she works in hospice and was working in hospice at that time. So she was able to kind of give us that heads up. So we approached it a little different, but that's not the case for everybody. Like you said, a lot of times you hear hospice, you like, wait, so mama on her way out, grandpa on his way out. But it's not just that, right? But without having the proper knowledge or education they're presented to you, you don't know what to expect. You don't know what you're listening to or looking for.
Yeah. So you all are here today, where people can come up and talk with you.
Yes.
And find out and have questions, because when the situation hits, you got to make quick decisions.
Absolutely.
And it's really tough because you're dealing with your emotions, but you got to make a quick decision. You're in disbelief a lot of times, unless a person is really, really suffering, right?
Sure.
And then our own selfishness. Because
Absolutely.
I'm up here, mama going on, she get ready to get, the red carpet at heaven. And I'm down here stuck. And I'm up here talking about, no, mama, stay down here and wrestle with the people.
Fight harder.
Wrestle with these people versus going on home to glory where you ain't got no more problems. They ain't got to worry about no Duke Energy bill.
Okay.
They ain't got to worry about did the mortgage get back. And so I think sometimes our own selfishness. I said, hold on, I need mama to stay. Why? For me. I wasn't saying stay mama for you, stay for me.
I need you here, right? No.
Then you look around and say, wait a minute, the good people are going on to heaven. And what we doing now? I ain't trying to say I got to go now, but is it something you know I don't know?
Let me know. Give me a link or something.
Yeah. So tell us about the name again, because this is brand new.
Absolutely.
And tell them a little bit again about the hospice care.
Sure. So again, we're Mahogany Home Health and Hospice Agency. You can find us on our website at mahoganyhhh.com. We're also currently in the Blue Ash area. We will be moving. With that being the case, we'll be moving into the United Way building there on Redding Road. It's actually, the address is 2400 Redding Road. Of course, that's in the Cincinnati area. But we will be doing our ribbon cutting on July the 20th. Sunday, July the 20th, we'll be doing our ribbon cutting there, welcoming individuals to come check us out, find ways that people can partner and connect with us, but more importantly, to get the information out so that we praise God if you're not currently dealing with somebody who needs the service, but this is the time to become aware of the service. So that way, if your loved one has to go down this path, you're not in the mix of your emotions trying to figure out what to do. You already have people such as us that are there to help you navigate through those ending stages of life for that loved one.
All right. We appreciate it. You got a phone number?
They can contact us at 513-402-0496 or find us on any social media platform under Mahogany, the color, HHH.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Good to see my Prince Hall family, my brother.
Ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Good to see
Love
you.
you.
Love you too. Thank you for being here.
Of course.
All right, everybody. We are here at Corinthian Baptist Church. That's where we are. And we're here for the Live Well Health and Healing Expo. Come on over. We're here till 3 o'clock. And we're hoping that, I don't know what's going on with my Facebook Live thing. I want to make sure it was okay, public. That was our issue. Okay. All righty. All right. Tell us who you are and what are you doing here today?
Well, my name is Lisa Meacham. I am the CEO and founder of Sickle Cell Alliance Foundation. I am a fellow Withrow Tiger.
Oh my God, the greatest high school
The greatest.
of all time.
Pause up.
Right.
But I partner with AAEW for us to bring this event to Cincinnati. There's so many different populations that need help. And sickle cell is one of them. Our patients need support in every way possible. It's absolutely impossible to live well with sickle cell and not have support. So we partnered to bring this event today, and I hope everyone seeing this comes out because we'll be here till 3 p.m. today. We want to educate the community on sickle cell and the importance of knowing your status knowing whether you have the sickle cell trait, knowing whether your partner has the sickle cell trait. The only way to prevent babies being born with sickle cell is being aware of your status and choosing not to have children with someone that has the trait or the disease.
Wow. Tell us about sickle cell. I mean, it's really tough. I mean, how do you live with it? Because I know that it can kill you.
Yes. You have to be aware of what's going on. And as you grow, as you age, sickle cell manifests itself differently in every person. And as you age, sickle cell, you experience different things as far as the symptoms that come along with the disease. It's very important to stay in contact with your doctors. You have to, be aware of your body and know your body, know what's going on if the weather's changing, whether you need to layer up or whether you need to not wear as many clothes. Sickle cell patients can lose their breath in extreme heat.
Wow.
Extreme changes in the atmosphere. Like if you're in a warm atmosphere and you go to a cold atmosphere, that can trigger a crisis. Sickle cell patients have strokes. At a young age, I think my daughter was first diagnosed or told that she had an abnormal, what they call as a transcranial Doppler, which is a brain ultrasound. That showed that she had a high likelihood of having a stroke.
Oh, wow.
So she immediately went on transfusion therapy, where most people don't want to have one transfusion. She's had transfusions every 4 weeks since she was 3.
Wow.
She just came off a transfusion last year at the age of 22.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
So
there's a lot dealing with the sickle cell in terms of, wow. And so you're here today to educate people and be there as a support system?
Yes, and to let them know that this community, people can empathize with sickle cell patients because of the pain. We all have experienced pain, but the pain sickle cell patients experience, they were born with this disease. It's nothing that they did and nothing that they can do to rid themselves of sickle cell. There is a lot of treatment out there. There are a lot of things that have helped some people. Every case of sickle cell is different. So what may work for one patient may not work for the other patient. And they need your support. Sickle cell patients can spend weeks at a time in the hospital trying to get their pain under control. How can that not affect you mentally to be in there in excruciating pain and in your mind, I don't want to take this medication. I don't want to be here, but you have to in order to kind of get yourself together.
Gotcha. Well, definitely people can come today and talk to you. You'll be here till 3:00.
Yes.
If you're listening to me on my rerun on Saturday, how can they connect with you?
We're on all social media platforms, Sickle Cell Alliance Foundation. Our web address is scafcincy.com. That's SCAFCINCY.com. Or you can look me up, Lisa Meacham, send me a message. People do that as well. You can also list us as your community partner with Kroger, and Kroger will make a donation to us on your behalf just by you doing your regular shopping. It's not something that they charge you for. They donate a portion of their profits to SCAF based on your shopping.
Wow. How do you sign up for that on your shopping?
You can go to the customer service desk at Kroger's and they will help you, or you can find that information on our website.
Oh, wow. See, that's good information to know because, they're looking at a thunderstorm or something tonight. Everyone is running to Kroger's, including myself. Those of us who, I don't cook as much, but I will be cooking when the thunderstorm comes. So y'all can go to the customer service, sign up and say, hey, I'm spending the money anyway. There's nothing extra, but I want to list them to be able to get some of the profits toward the foundation to help, because sickle cell, it's ongoing and that's a lifetime of trying to treat and treatment, etc. And that's very expensive.
Yes. Anywhere blood flows in your body, a person can have a pain crisis in it.
Wow. Well, thank you for being here. 3:00, y'all come talk to her directly about sickle cell. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for being on here. Withrow Tigers in the house. All right, y'all. As we're getting ready to wrap up, I got as we're wrapping up, I've got 6 minutes. It's been an incredible week at the county. We had our Office of Small Business Day with almost 1,500 small businesses, connecting them to opportunities. Number two, we have the 513 Day with our 513 Relief Bus annual report showing that this bus does work. This is a new way. It's DoorDash without the fee, where we're bringing the services to you. Small businesses, I ran into a lot of them that said this was helpful. People who have gotten contracts last year from the one we did the year before. We announced that the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame, which has now been selected as one of the top Black music monuments / museums in the entire country. They named Motown, they named Prince's Paisley Park, they named Stax Records, and they named the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. It's completely free. And we announced that the event, induction ceremony, and celebration will take place on Saturday, July 26th. We are wearing white again, so you can get your outfits. We put a little twist on it. It's got the boots on the ground. If you want to put a hat with it, you want to put some cowboy boots with it, bring your fans. We're popping fans, and we're going to break the record. We're trying to get 250,000 visitors down at the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. It's completely free by July 26th. We're going to make history. Y'all help us make history. Go down there. Take a photo. Tag Cincy Black Music Walk of Fame. Get ready. Father's Day is coming up. Take your fathers down there. Put the outfit on. Take your fathers down there and take a photo at the Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame. Saturday, July 26th is our induction. And if you can understand, I've been providing a lot of stuff for free. 513 Relief Bus, free. Small Business Day, free. Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame, free. Cincinnati Black Music Walk of Fame induction ceremony, high class with a free concert, all free. Physicals on the bus for our youth, free. Birth certificates, free. That's a lot. That's a lot. So please continue to follow us. If you want to know more about the county piece, follow me on Hamilton County Commissioner Alicia Reece's page. Soul Food, y'all want to be on this page. We got some bright things happening, some things that we're going to be able to have on that page. And I want y'all to make sure you got it first on Alicia Reece Soul Food. Lots of hot sauce will be going on that page. Now, this week, we also had, these last couple of weeks, we got a thing called the Cincinnati Bengals lease agreement that is up for renegotiation, right? If you want to know about the lease, go to our page. We got it. We break it all the way down. You can read it, and we'll tell you what it is, and you can read through how it's put together. My lecture series on how an NFL lease, the Cincinnati Bengals NFL lease, is put together. We're dealing with ownership. We're not dealing with the tailgate party. We're not dealing with we buying a jersey. We're not dealing with who's going to be the quarterback. Who's going to be the quarterback? It is ownership that we're dealing with. So lastly, I just want to say I voted against a memo. Not the lease, it's a memo. The lease from 1997 is still in effect. That bad lease, 94% or 96%, we paying, and they only paying 4%. That's still in effect. But the administration came back with a memo that was voted on, and I voted no, to give $65 more million to the Bengals while the NFL gives them a loan. Doesn't do anything for our lease. But in there, we just found out in the memo, you got to always read these things, they snuck in. They're supposed to let us know by June 30th what they're going to do. Well, the administrator snuck in here that in this memo, it would allow us to extend the time of the bad lease for them to tell us what they're going to do. Gotta read. It's all right here, but you can go to my page, Commissioner Alicia Reece. You can see it for yourself live and live in color, so you can follow along yourself. And we're going to keep it going. It's a lot going on. It's a circus. It's a lot of moving parts. But as we said in our commercial, they're trying to pull a fast one on us, but we won't be fooled. Okay, everybody, until next time, I got to go. Corinthian Baptist Church. Soon.